What's new in CloudBees CI 2.426.1.2? On November 15th, 2023, CloudBees CI 2.426.1.2 was released. In this video, we're going to be reviewing the changes in that release. Also on November 15th, Jenkins LTS 2.426.1 was released. On November 16th, I did a video with Mark Waite about all the changes in that release. If you'd like more details about that, a link to that video is down in the description. If you've never taken a look at the release notes for CloudBees CI, let me show you how to get there. We're starting at docs.cloudbees.com. Under documentation, let's go to CloudBees CI, and then on the documentation dropdown in the left nav, select release notes. And here we're on the home page for CloudBees CI release notes. Now let's take a look at this important block that's right here at the top of the page. If you skip versions when you upgrade, refer to previous versions of the release notes for any relevant known issues or upgrade notes. Now, what does that mean? Well, again, this release right now is 2.426.1.2. Let's say that I'm upgrading from 2.414.2.2 all the way up to 426.1.2. I would need to go through the release notes and the upgrade notes for all the versions in between the starting version and the version that I am installing. As a CloudBees CI client, we recommend an assisted update to help make this process easier. There is a link down in the description about how to get help with an assisted update. So we can see here that we have two different columns, a column for traditional platforms and a column for modern cloud platforms. We're first going to take a look at traditional platforms, and then we'll go over and take a look at the differences in modern cloud platforms. So clicking on the full release notes, what we'll see here at the very top is a security advisory. If you go into the security advisory, what we'll see is that there was one item for upgrading Hazelcast from 5.32 to 5.35. And for this release, that is the only security item included in this release. Let's go ahead and go back over to our release notes. We'll see that there are two new features, but the one that I want to call out specifically is adding explicit load balancing for high availability controllers. Well, what does this mean? In earlier versions of high availability, when a build was scheduled, it would just be scheduled to one of the random controllers that were available within that high availability setup for that controller. Now what's going to happen is when a build is scheduled, it will be directed towards the replica with the least load according to a simple metric that counts builds already running, queue items scheduled, and online agents. If you have an HA controller set up with 5 replicas and 4 of them are busy, when you schedule a new job, it's going to go to the one with the least amount of load according to these metrics. If we go down into feature enhancements, there were also a number of other enhancements for high availability controllers. There are also 2 new steps that now support high availability. That's publish event and trigger remote job. Up until this point, these were not supported with high availability. Also included in this release was the usages of prototype.js were removed from CloudBees CAP plugins. Now, the video that I did with Mark Waite goes into great detail about what prototype.js is and why it was removed. This is just a continuation for the plugins that are within CAP for CloudBees CI. If we go ahead and scroll down some more, there were numerous enhancements for Cask, configuration as code. And then also there were a number of feature enhancements for the CloudBees Pipeline Explorer. One of the #1 items is the Test Insights panel is now available based on JUnit test results. Also included is being able to go and take a look at build artifacts directly within CloudBees Pipeline Explorer without having to go back out to the classic view. There are also a handful of other improvements for CloudBees Pipeline Explorer. Let's go ahead and scroll down to the resolved issues. Again, not only do we have feature enhancements for CloudBees Pipeline Explorer, but we also had a number of resolved issues. If you've been using CloudBees Pipeline Explorer and have run into some issues, check out the release note item to see if any of these resolve your issues. Let's also continue down to the next one. A more secure algorithm has been applied for RPM signing process. Within Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9, the SHA-1 algorithm was deprecated. So now all the RPM signing is using a more secure algorithm. And then one more item is if you are running on a Debian-based system, there was a change in the packaging to handle an override for java.io.tempter. Previously, if you had set a specific location for java.io.tempter for Debian-based installations, that value would be ignored Now that has been resolved with this release. Now let's go ahead and go back over to our release notes for modern cloud platforms. And for this release, there's actually only one difference between traditional and modern, and it's specifically for modern. If you are using the feature for Cask Bundle Retriever, then that has now changed to allow the bundle retriever to inform CloudBees CI immediately of the existence of any new versions of a bundle. So if you had already started out using Cask Bundle Retriever in a previous release, you'll want to make sure to upgrade to this version to take advantage of these new features. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us on Twitter @CloudBees. If this video was helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to CloudBees TV yet, why not? Take a moment, click on that subscribe button, and then ring that bell, and you'll be notified anytime there's new content available on CloudBees TV. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.